Hello, this is the CS portion of our Catscape project, and this is a project by
Kyle.
Esther.
Gordon.
Timothy.
And Gabriel.
For this project, we decided to make a cozy early 3D retro style adventure game as a way of developing and showcasing our CS and C skills all together. And to do so, our goal is to create a vertical slice of the project and then publish it on to itch.io.
And these are the tools we have used. We have used the Godot engine for the game engine. We have used the CD script for the programming language. We've used Asebyte for pixel art and textures. We've used GitHub for syncing our progress. We've used codex.io for task management. We've used Blender for modeling 3D assets and adding textures. We've used Audacity for creating and enhancing sound effect assets. And we've used Adobe Photoshop for drawing game art assets.
Our team consists of Kyle, who is the lead developer of this project. Esther and me are mainly the programmer for this project, while Tim and Gabriel are 3D artists are 3D artists and level designers for the project.
And these were the characters created for the project. On the left, there's Stubert of Calca, who is the main player character of the game. And on the right, there's Sir Jumphrey Frog, who is the main non-player character of the game. Both of which were created by our lead Kyle. And due to time constraints, we're focusing on the 2D sprite versions rather than 3D models. And these were the levels created by us CD students. The left right there is the mountain level created by Timothy. On the right is the hub level Catscape created by me. We made all the assets in a Blender, then imported them into Godot where they could be coded.
So this game started out about a year ago in a character design class. I made the characters, and I thought it'd be really fun to combine the aesthetic elements of both RuneScape and Animal Crossing, both games that I loved playing growing up. So I made a demo with a friend of mine. We showed it to a bunch of people, and they said overwhelmingly, this is very cute and very cozy, but we want to see more interactive elements, being able to talk with characters, uh, interact with items, things in the world, things like that. So that sets the context for our priorities, rewriting a lot of these systems. So for example, it lacked a lot of characters, so we wanted to create a robust dialogue system. It lacked items and things to interact with, so I made a pretty extendable interaction system where you click or stand in front of something and press a button, and it'll activate some dialogue, or you'll collect an item and so forth. Another thing that we worked on was um, creating a more interactable world. So there are certain objects that you interact with. There's a little animation that plays, um, and things like that. For example, the grass, when you walk through them, it creates a sound and creates a particle effect. Another thing that we wanted to do was create an accessibility feature that creates the option for using mouse and keyboard or a gamepad. Because we found in previous projects, um, not everyone knows how to use either mouse or keyboard or a gamepad. So if you give them the option, it opens up both of those groups of people.
And for the mechanics, the first one we started testing out was the character controller. This is the one that the player would be experiencing pretty much 100% of the time. That was our priority. And the second one was testing out the levels, how movement feels in them, what we do in them, followed by developing the UI for like menus and inventory. Another mechanic we were exploring was multiplayer. This was one that I was in charge of. This involved familiarizing myself with networking. This was new to me. So things like understanding how information is sent between computers. There's two main ways, like UDP, TCP, but this was taking a lot of time, so we opted to not continue with this method. Something else we started early on was methods for rapid development. So this included whiteboxing and, as mentioned, using sprites for the character models. And a lot of our core systems were geared towards a point and click sort of game. So character controller, wherever you click, that's where the character would move. Along with like UI, most of this was for the menu and inventory. Interactable items. So like the question mark, that serves as a checkpoint, and the marbles that are central to progression. And as mentioned, the grass that sways as you step on it. NPC dialogue was another big one. And accessibility. Originally, we only supported keyboard and mouse, but we added in gamepad as well. One of the early challenges began in onboarding. We only had one person familiar with Godot, and so that brought on some communication challenges. Another big one was our goals were shifting. As we are a group of five, we all wanted to contribute to the vision, and so this took some agreements to get us to an agreed vision and the workload distribution. Some of us burned out a bit early as we could have distributed this a bit better at the start. Go ahead.
So this leads us to what we actually learned. Thankfully, everybody learned something. On the CS side, each of us learned how to use Godot and program a little bit more. We learned a bit about scope management early on, super important. Project management, there's enough work there for just one person alone the entire time, creating tasks and organizing things like deadlines. One thing that I do think we could have done better is spend more time in pre-production, getting all on the same page, unifying the art style and everything that we wanted to do early on. Our CD students, again, also learned Godot and also how to make more 2D art. GitHub was an important tool for all of us to learn, and the CD students got more of that for cross-discipline development. And we even got to explore some graphical elements like shaders and particles in there. That pretty much concludes our presentation. Thank you all for listening.